Good day, everybody. It is wonderful to see you again. And I am coming live from one of my favorite places in the world, and that is, of course, the library. Behind me, you can see two of the inhabitants of the library. Yep, the two polar bears. They are wonderful to sit down with and read a book with. Now, on the shelf behind me, where they are, there's a book that I think you could find very useful. It's a dictionary of rhyming words. So if you're ever in the need of some rhyming words, here's the book for you. Now let's continue. First of all, we will learn today what rhyming couplets are, and we will also learn where rhyming couplets come from. Now, why don't you pause the video and then write down everything you know about rhyming couplets. There you go. Pause it and write. Very good, very good. Now, I would like to share three rhyming couplets with you. Uh, the one here on the left-hand side, we have, you can see this Humpty Dumpty, and then on the right-hand side on top, we have a song by Madonna, I Love New York, and then we also have the man, the legend, William Shakespeare, and a couplet from the play Romeo and Juliet. Please have a look at them, see what they have in common, and write that down for number 2. You can pause the video and write and then come back. Excellent. Now let's quickly have a look at these. For Humpty Dumpty, I think you would have found that, oh sorry, for Madonna, I Love New York, I think you'll find that the words York and Dork rhyme, and also that the two lines have a very similar beat. If you would read them, you kind of fall into a beat. So if we read it, sound like, I don't like cities, but I like New York. Other places make me feel like a dork. You can hear that's kind of like singy-songy. It kind of has a beat to it. Let's look at Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So you can see there's like a beat, there's a rhythm to it, right? So when you're looking at your own couplets that you're going to write, you have to take care that you actually have a rhythm or a beat in your lines as well. In the play Romeo and Juliet, we have here, good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be tomorrow. And hopefully you can hear in this as well, there's a certain beat to it. So if you would clap it out, there's a certain rhythm that you can find in these couplets. Now, what are rhyming couplets? First of all, rhyming couplets are 2 lines of verse. The 2 lines always rhyme. The 2 lines usually have the same meter, beat, or rhythm, and a couplet is usually a complete thought. So together they finish a complete thought or they are related. If we have this example, we have hickory dickory dock, 3 mice ran up the clock. And then we have our second example, I do not like them in a house, I do not like them with a mouse. This is of course from Dr. Seuss's book, I think it's Green Eggs and Ham. There we go, you can see dock and clock rhyme, and here we have house and mouse. But also when you read it, there's definitely a rhythm to the lines. They have a similar beat to the consecutive lines. Now, couplets are 2 lines of verse. They're usually in the same meter and joined by a rhyme to form a unit or an idea. It's just what I said earlier. So couplets are basically just 2 lines that have something in common. They finish an idea together, so they work together to make one meaning. Then couplets are not actually a distinctive kind of poetry. It's not like a haiku. So if I say haiku, everyone knows what the rules are, and there are specific rules. It's not like a limerick, but couplets are part of poems. You can find couplets in almost every poem you read. They are usually in poems, children's rhymes, and songs, as we saw in the examples that I shared with you. And then there are different kinds of couplets. Some couplets do actually not rhyme, but for us, we are going to focus on rhyming couplets. This is an example of a poem that has wonderful rhyme to it, and these you can see are all couplets. We have better, letter. This is a couplet, seed, need. You have time, climb, read, lead, there, hair, rain again, mine, kind, must, and dust. This is a poem called Dust If You Must by Rose Milligan. You can pause and read it. It is a lovely poem to make us think a little bit about using our time wisely. And please don't go home and tell your parents I told you not to dust. It is very good to keep your house clean, but it's also very good to have a life with purpose, to try things, to experience things. And I think this is what Rose Milligan is trying to tell us in this wonderful poem filled with couplets. Now, you're going to try and write your own couplets. But first, let's have a look at the history of couplet. It's not that intriguing. It comes from a French word, couplet, which basically means two pieces of iron connected by a rivet or a hinge. So that refers back to the idea of the two lines in a couplet that are connected. They're connected by a central idea. In Latin, the origin is copula, which means a bond or a link. So in poetry, the lines of a couplet are linked by the thought that joins them together. Also, they first emerged in English language during the 13th century. That's long ago, when English poets began to use them as literary devices to establish patterns in verse. Okay, so they have a long, long origin. I've read that there's also one kind of couplet is called Chinese couplets, and they have been in existence for over 2,000 years. So couplets have been with us for a very long time. Now, you have a chance to show it. You know you're going to answer some questions about couplets and then also even write your own poem with couplets. So for practice today, it's a very good idea to write down a topic or a theme that you want to write about. So you choose anything, like it can be animals, it can be school, it can be food, it can be about emotions like love and sadness and joy, it can be about something that you're interested in, like a sport or a hobby, painting, music, anything that you want to write about. After you've done that, it is a very good idea to first brainstorm a list of words that you can use as rhyming words. And then comes the artistry. Then you take the words and you use them together to form central ideas. And then you're going to write couplets. I think it'd be nice if you can write a poem with maybe 3 to 5 couplets for a practice. Okay, good luck with that, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you. Goodbye.